Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teachers Do. Today I have with me Gene,
Hello.
and today we are wrapping up the X-Men The End Trilogy with Men and X-Men. Gene, to the best you're able to, give a summary of what we went through in the last book.
More people died.
All
Kitty
honesty, in
made
all honesty.
and Kitty is a very idealistic politician. Bless her heart.
Yep, she very much is. But yeah, basically, the X-Men try to regroup after the disaster of the first book, and also, yeah, Kitty's still running for mayor, and they've taken out Sinister, but at the cost of Rogue. But it feels like they now have a plan because Rogue had been working with the Shi'ar, and because we found out that apparently Gambit was actually one of Sinister's clones, and he'll go in disguised as Sinister and try and find out what's going on and undermine it. So at least they got a plan going into this. Also, Ilea Bishop, the daughter of Bishop and Despard, has been infected by a new strain of the brood. You guys say, at least that means we have a lot of the subplots are been whittled down at least.
I guess.
So let's dive
It's
in and
pretty
see.
crazy. Too many. It's just too
Yep,
much stuff. It's a case of too much.
it is. But yeah, let's see if they stick the landing. As we see, yeah, with all due respect, Charles, Eliandra's turned the school into a boneyard. We're way past talking. If you truly believe that, any of you, then you have my profoundest apologies. I failed as your teacher. Remember, though, war scrolls were responsible for these attacks. We have no direct evidence linking them to Liliandra, which of course is how any responsible clandestine operation would be arranged to ensure those responsible remain blameless. Like whoever adversaries, Charles, they've made plain they want us dead. In this, I agree with Scott. A diplomatic resolution is no longer an option. Even Storm agrees.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone's deciding on what to do. So it's decided eventually the Starjammer is en route. They'll pick up, go there, and try and figure out what's going on. Try and talk to Eliandra, and if not, then they'll take him out. So yeah, they're regrouping everything. Apparently, Bobby and Sage have been getting close together.
Okay.
But yeah, the kids have been transported back, meet up with Cyclops, and hear from Mystique about what's going on. And she said that she'll help take care of them. Of course, the polls are, it's a bit of a struggle with them for running for mayor. But
Of course.
Xavier appears before Kitty to give them a farewell and explain to them what they plan on doing, saying it's a calculated risk going towards just towards Eliandra, but he feels like Eliandra has no idea how powerful he can truly be. So they're all going to head over there, but he confirms to her, you need to stay here. Keep the legacy alive. He's leaving it in her hands to do it. Professor, I take back what I said years ago. I never thought you were a jerk.
Aw.
So yeah, we see Sinister or Gambit and Sinister showing up, and they talk everything out. Say, like, where's my champion? Slain. Wrong answer. You'll get no better. In battle there are casualties. Rogue killed her. I killed Rogue with the very blade I hold at your throat. So basically, he's talking down, showing he can do a good job at acting like him. We get a summary about Ilea with the Brood, and then we see Wolverine and Jean came back together.
I hate this. You have a good woman like.
Screw them. We're X-Men, darling. We make our own rules.
You. I will
Yep,
never the X-Men comics for having him have this obsession with her for this damn long. It should have ended years ago. Storm is right
agree.
there. She's you. Why do you keep screwing it up? You dummy.
Yep. Well, apparently, though, it looks like Jean's more trying to help him keep his mind together. Is why she did all this.
Oh please, she's the mind reader. She's messing with his head.
Yep. So yeah, they're giving a nice hug as they're all ready to head on out there. At first, it looks like Scott's going to stay behind, but eventually he's going to catch. And they're using a portal created by Polaris and Magneto to open it. So then Polaris holds it open as Magneto and Xavier go through there, and they meet up with the guard.
Okay.
In the name of Magistrate Shi'ar, kill them! No! Imperial Guard, heed your Empress. Stand down! Now, before we go any further, I want you to take a guess. Do you have an idea of who? Do you at least have an idea of who the big villain is? It's not Magneto.
Oh goodness.
No, remember, we've had Apocalypse taken off the board. We've had Sinister taken off the board.
Okay, so I mean, Magnus is. I think it's somebody that you probably would not expect. So I'm thinking one of the mind readers, Emma, Jean, Xavier.
I will say this. It's not someone we've. I'll tell you this. It's not someone we've seen.
It is.
It's not someone we've seen yet.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. It's someone we haven't seen yet. It's someone we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
All right, but see about this though. All right. I'll just point this out. He's cleaning up every loose thread. What's one more loose thread that by this point anyway had not been resolved? And it's connected to the Shi'ar Empire.
Oh goodness, the Shi'ar Empire. Well, there's Deathbird, there's Lalandra.
Okay, we'll get to it. But Liliandra. But unfortunately, one of the kids gets beaten. One of the people working for his campaign. Oh.
1 second, sorry.
Seems like once a time each book.
I'm sorry. Somebody keeps my home line, and every time I answer, they don't answer, and it's really pissing me off.
I don't blame you, but yeah, apparently a young boy who was helping the campaign gets attacked as a race traitor. Meanwhile, we see Gambit with with the others as they show up. Show up there, bow before Liliandra. Keep on this act going. But unfortunately, it looks like this guy Khan is trying to overthrow Liliandra. Now, it seems like things are going well. And, okay, I'll just say it now since it's being shown here. It's Cassandra Nova.
Where? Which one?
No, she's the big villain, the final villain. Xavier's twin sister.
Oh. I know who she is.
Yeah. Turns
that
out.
Makes sense.
Yep.
She was mentioned in like the first part.
Yeah. So yeah, turns out she has been there. Now you think she's in Liliandra. She's not. But yeah, so Charles is trying to talk it over with her, but she's showing like there's nothing else she can do. She's going to keep on doing it, keep on expanding. So, and for a moment, then we see a vision. We think that it is Cassandra taking over Liliandra, but it's not, like I said. Oh, I love this with Polaris and Bobby. He's helping keeping her cool.
Okay, this is interesting looking panel. I like the colors.
And then we then see Plutona comes in, attacks Magneto, drains him of his energy, a lot of it, leaving him a husk, and then goes and does the same thing to Polaris.
Did I just hear you right? Magneto got punked.
Oh, nope. Actually, not yet. He ain't dead yet. But yeah, it turns out now Ilea is actually seemingly taking control of being controlled by Cassandra for a moment, leading to attacking everyone. But then the Brood are now involved, and it turns out she has a Brood queen egg in her. But yeah, Plutona, from absorbing all that energy, is ready to just detonate. So Hub, one of their long-range teleporter, goes out there, takes them into space, detonating, sacrificing herself. But then she comes, Polaris comes up, revealing that it turns out because of their magnetic abilities, Magneto is keeping her alive and both alive. As everyone charges in, including Captain Britain.
Okay.
Yep. Unfortunately, though, but Polaris dies and everything. Aww. And then Magneto, my daughter is dead. Humanity can breathe a little easier, Cyclops. The line of Lensher is no more. So much for Charles' hopes of peace. Now the Shi'ar will learn to their everlasting sorrow how this old man makes war.
Like he hasn't been doing that all this time.
This is awesome, isn't it? That even with his body drained into a husk, he still uses his magnetic abilities to keep himself alive.
I mean, it's very in character for Magnus.
Yep. But again, that's awesome. And all this, we keep on seeing all these other characters who have survived, who are still alive. But yeah, we see everything is escalating more and more as tensions are getting worse and worse. Unfortunately, that one kid got killed. As Kitty's trying to explain it all to everyone. Some people are trying to make their way over there. The fight is happening against the Shi'ar. As now Magneto is now pure energy. Again, everything is just really just starting to build up, all this stuff. So much fighting is happening. X-23 is helping out. Again, this is all a big out war. But then Cassandra Nova taunts Charles are getting close until we find out that it's not Eleandra he attacked. It was whatever that monster stuff, Super Guardian. And now he's in the same teaching classroom that he left her in.
Okay.
And now she's going to slowly start to drain his mind out. And well, Gambit makes his move against the Emperor Khan, leading to a big fight going on. Unfortunately, Gambit, he ends up having to sacrifice himself.
Of course he does.
Yep, as everything continues on more and more. Unfortunately, Archangel gets taken out.
Angel never gets a break. He never gets a break.
Yep. Then Kitty and Rachel makes her way in, trying to help her, as we see all that stuff oozing out of Xavier is his intellect, all piddled on the floor. But then, ever the dutiful daughter, ever the stalwart X-Men, ever the fool. Surprised to see me, my dear, after all these years? For a moment, she seems to think that she thinks this is Jean.
Did I hear you right? What looked like tears or whatnot oozing out of Xavier was his intellect?
Yeah, look at all the numbers and letters.
That has got to be one of the silliest things I've ever heard.
Yep, and it seems like yep, and for all we think she's killed both Rachel and Eleandra. She's only killed Eleandra.
Oh, man.
Yep, and unfortunately, turns out Nova's been inside the son of Liliandra and Charles the whole time, controlling his mother by proxy.
I can see that actually.
Yep. So again, we cut back to everyone else, to Kitty remembering as, Super Guardians, my mother is dead. The matriarch Shi'ar has been murdered by her former consort, my own sire, Charles Xavier. For this crime, he and his accursed X-Men must die. Oh dear. So yeah, everything's getting worse and worse. But yeah, I'm the Emperor. I'm supposed to win. Like, drained you dry, have I, dearest brother? Not a thought left to call your own. Naughty, naughty, Charles. See what a mess you made of the place, dribbling that magnificent intellect all over yourself. You are right to be afraid of me. You always knew I was the superior twin. But Rachel is able to regain control, seems to get the upper hand, but it turns out, we find out later, she didn't. The Brood are attacking. They're fighting them all off. Everything is building up towards this. Bishop meets up with Ilea as the Brood are attacking. And then Cassandra reveals she gets the upper hand against Rachel. Again, everything is just continuing on more and more until now we see Cassandra inside of Xavier's body.
Okay, I can understand that. That makes sense for her.
Yep. Because she's basically drained him now. So now it's nothing left but for her to have a physical form. Right. Combined with Charles's power. Which we then find out that because of that, they end up becoming transcended. Oh. Don't worry. It turns out for a moment you think Psylocke is dead. She's not. It was an illusion.
Okay.
But get this. Cyclops actually chops up Charles's head, but like I said, unfortunately they've transcended corporeal form and starts to use Magneto's powers, energy.
All right.
But then Cable starts to use his power to go after them. Of course, by doing so means he's going to have to release himself from the techno-organic virus. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, Scott finally reveals that he's known that Madeline has been disguised as dust. And he says, you need to help our son, Cable. So things seem to keep on escalating more and more as X-23 is coming in for a fight, being controlled by Nova. Then we see the Brood fighting against the Sun and stabs him. So now Xavier's son is dead. Now with help from Jean, who's now free, is able to help Cable attack and devastate Cassandra Nova. But he's now let himself go and is fully taken over by his techno-organic virus. And he's telling Madeline to just let him die. But they're ready to seem to be able to take control, except there's a problem. Unfortunately, also Wolverine, he hasn't been involved in all this because he's still in his coma state. But turns out Madeline has been prepared for all this. She took over Rachel, and now she is the Phoenix. Cassandra Nova has the Phoenix power. Oh, that old lady in the Phoenix outfit. So, one more issue. Talk about a huge convoluted plan, right?
I have played Japanese RPGs that had a more comprehensible plot than this.
I know, right? Like Wolverine's starting to, start to flatline. Everything's going crazy. They take out a whole bunch of the Shi'ar. A Dazzler blows her up a hole in her head. Unfortunately, gets attacked. Again, they see every time they keep on seeing they won. Nope, they did it. Unfortunately, Storm gets taken out.
Of freaking course.
Yeah, her pack has been destroyed and she falls to her death.
Anything in this story except save herself and Logan one time. So of
Yep.
course she gets taken out.
And then Bishop takes out Magneto because, well, that was helping sustain Cassandra's power. And the Brood actually busts its way out of Ilea, but she then kills the Brood, sparing Ilea. And then saying, is there all that's left? Madeline is ready to deal with her. As the sun, the Shi'ar sun goes supernova. Oh, I should also point out at the end of the last issue when she got blasted, Jean's fiery hair landed on the front top of Scott's chest. So that killed him too.
Okay.
But was helped, and then Distractor Psylocke side blades Cassandra right in the head.
Ooh, cool.
And then Madeline finally merges with Jean. Turns out that's the reason why things never worked. They were actually two halves this whole time.
Well, I mean, isn't Madeline more or less a clone or something of Jean Grey?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, so it turns out that's the reason why they were always doomed to fail. But thanks to Madeline, Jean's up, Phoenix is restored, people start coming back, and now they're trying to think of what to do next. So it's then decided to make an offer for them to all transcend. It's time for them to let go on their bodies. So many of those who had died that day are going to, like I said, transcend and move on. And thus they finally come into an agreement, and they do, as they leave before the sun goes nova. We then find out 20 years later, she became mayor, and eventually Kitty became president. And she was actually able to convince that congresswoman and actually made her realize she was wrong, and she became, she's now Madam Speaker.
Okay, I like that.
Yep.
People change in time.
Yep, as now all of those who died will be remembered. There's finally peace on Earth and across everywhere, as almost all of their main villains are now dead. And that's the end. And it's time for them to do a big start. But what did you think?
Oh, how do I?
It didn't stick the landing, did it?
No, I actually don't mind the ending. It's everything else that led to a better future where, a mutant is president and her former political rival is now on her side. And
no, that part's fine. I'm talking about the stuff with Nova.
Isn't the problem. It's everything else.
Yeah, it's the Nova stuff.
I even don't mind that. The problem, actually, Cassandra Nova being the true villainess here and all that wasn't really my issue. It's everything building up. It was just such a convoluted mess. I was trying to follow everything. It's just too many. It's just too many plots and too many characters. I mean, like the whole Kitty as mayor thing barely contributes in any major way to the story. It's not even an important subplot.
Not really until the ending.
That could be its own. What?
Yeah, I said not until the ending.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, okay, we have this ending for her story, but it's not about Kitty. That's the thing. It's not about Kitty and trying to assimilate in the world. That's not what the story's about. I don't know what the hell the story's about. It's heavy on action, but again, there's just a lack of pacing, way too many characters. Again, it's like an overbooked wrestling match. Everybody gets their stuff in, but no story is told. It looks cool, but that's
I think the problem is Claremont was told wrap up and give us a final story, make it a final story, and wrap up all the plot points and deal with give some finality to a lot of the characters. That's how many plot points are there still unresolved?
Yes, but it's called X-Men: The End. Just focus on the core group and how they came to their end. You didn't have to involve with no disrespect, but like, who the hell cares about Dust? She's
I
not a
know,
major player.
I know, and it just felt like again they had to wrap up so much stuff, and then it's just like, uh,
That's exactly how I feel. Oy.
I mean, I would give this whole thing, all the books together, I give it a 5. It's not utter garbage. It's not garbage. There's a lot of good things, and the artwork is good, but it's a mess.
It is a mess. It is a mess. It's a convoluted mess. Again, Claremont's done this type of thing before, but he had a smaller cast, a tighter story to tell. So not the worst thing I've ever read or had read to me technically, but yeah, there's better out there. There's manga better less convoluted than
Oh, I
this.
should point out, Ilea, I didn't mention it. Ilea is now the matriarch of the Shi'ar Empire, which makes sense. She's Deathbird's daughter.
Okay.
That makes sense. But yeah, but overall, though, it's just, again, I think he was given too much room to work with.
Yeah, or at least too many characters that they have to throw in there.
Yeah, exactly. But again,
Smaller story, if it were smaller, if it were just focused on one person or one group of individuals,
Ilea was a
again,
perfect. Ilea was a perfect character to use as a new character. It sets things up, and we should have followed her beginning to end, as
mhm.
opposed to her being one of the many
Yeah,
sub characters.
yeah, I agree with you. But that's the thing. It's like she's the POV character for like a few panels here and there, not through the whole story. We don't really learn much about her.
Exactly. How no, they should have. Ilea should have been the main Pokemon character for the first mini, Kitty the second, and then Madeline the third.
Possibly, possibly.
You know what I mean? Because I think that would have been made more sense. Because given how, um, like I said, Kitty had a lot more to do in the second mini compared to everywhere else.
Hmm.
But yeah, so overall, I mean, yeah, I thank you for joining me on this one. I needed someone I wanted to go over this whole thing with, and again, for the end project, the end moment's what matters the most. But yeah, like you said, everything that got there was a mess, not a train wreck mess. What kind of mess would you say it? Would you say it's more like I would say a disastrous room mess, wouldn't you say?
I've said it several times already. Overbooked wrestling match.
No, yeah,
Visually,
you're
it's
right.
very. Everybody gets their cool spots and their cool moments, but there's absolutely no story told, or the story is barely there. It looks
Exactly.
cool. It's heavy on. It just makes no sense.
Now, one last question. What would you say was your
Not
favorite plot point resolution in all this?
perhaps the end, the whole Kitty
The kitty?
becoming
Yep.
mayor. That I think was the best part because again, it held on to that message of hopefulness, right? And Xavier's whole thing is that humans just fear mutants. Once they get over that, there can be peace. So Kitty becoming mayor, her former political rival, joining her and getting over her anti-mutant views. That's the most inspiring part. It's
Yeah.
just the rest of it that I can't stand.
Now, I would say for me, the Madeline Jean thing, that was a nice reveal, actually.
I mean, it's not a bad reveal, but it's like, again, I just don't feel it really contributed anything, especially toward the end of the story. The end is
True.
completely unrelated to Madeline and Jean merging.
That's true. Again, just, ah. Well, anyway. Thank you so much for joining me on all this one, Gene. Thanks to everyone else for and going through all this, and we'll see you all on the next one. Take care.
All right, thank you.
And you got to get going anyway.